Welcome to MorrisonMadness. I'm Don.
I'm Lachelle.
And this
is Chewie.
This is Chewie.
Hi, buddy.
We talked a few podcasts ago about the fact that we were thinking about getting a dog.
Yeah.
I don't even remember exactly what we talked about.
Well, just the types of dogs that we wanted and how I wanted a dog that was smaller than 10 pounds.
And I wanted a Great Dane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Or a Bull Mastiff. Absolutely.
Right.
So we compromised.
Yes. And in our compromise, we got Chewie, who is a Morkie and is currently 2.5 pounds.
And aptly named. So Chewie is short for Chewbacca, but it is the chewing, and I've had quite a few dogs throughout my life, and it is the chewingest puppy I have ever had in my life. It chews constantly.
He does. He likes to play chew as well. So
yes.
He's definitely mouthing all the time that way. And in case you are just listening to the podcast and you'd like to see a picture of Chewie, we'll throw in right now that you can see it on our Facebook group, which is the Madness members. If you go to our Morrison Madness page on Facebook, and go to groups, there's a group owned by that page, and it's easier for us to throw up some photos. Good kisses, Chewie. Thank you very much. It's easy for us to throw up photos on there, so we created that group to kind of share a little bit more about us on a regular basis. The page just posts basically once a day.
So at the time that we're recording this, the date that we're recording this, is obviously you're not going to see this for
a couple weeks.
Right. He is 10 weeks old today, and what'd you say, 2.5 pounds?
2.5 pounds at 10 weeks old. Yep.
So.
What?
I'm sure he'll be as big as a Great Dane in no time.
Yeah, no, I won. Although they think he's going to be over 10 pounds when he's full grown. You thought that he'd be more like 12 to 15 pounds.
Yes,
grown.
Just judging by
the size of his paws and stuff.
Right, the size of his paws at 8 weeks and how big he was compared to even the other puppy that was in the pen with him.
Sure. Yeah, he was a little bit bigger than his brother.
Yep. Well, and way bigger than the other ones that were.
Well, but they were.
And I realize that,
4 weeks old
you can
instead
still
of 8
tell.
weeks old.
You can still tell.
Sure.
When you're doing a comparison that way.
Sure.
Most of the time, not always. Most of the time, though, you can tell.
Right.
When a dog's going to be a little bigger.
Right. So he's taken up a lot of our time over the last almost 2 weeks. We've had him now.
We've had to puppy-proof the house.
Yeah.
Which has not been easy. We've
had to train Don to make sure that he puts things away and closes gates and things. What are you doing?
Why? Train Don? No.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Just keep telling yourself that. A lot of telling him no. He because of all of the chewing, he's having to learn what he can and cannot chew, like microphone cords, computer cords, cell phone chargers. Yes.
Yeah, and we're trying to work out in the dining room so we can spend time with him, and he's on tile, so if there's accidents, it's not a big deal, and then, yeah, he wants to play with the computer power cords and stuff. And
he has worn himself out. Is he
exhausted. Sleeping now?
He's trying to.
You can't sleep when we're on the podcast, dude. You found your voice today. He started he barked a little bit earlier this week, but other than that, he's been really quiet. And then today, he has decided that when he wants our attention and he wants to play, he will start barking.
Or even when he was playing by himself.
Yes, he'll start
when he was attacking his toys, he was barking at him and throwing them around and growling at them.
Yeah. Should we wake you up a little bit? I'm so mean. We're going to wake you up. Shake you up a little bit. So. But yeah. So we will, I'm sure, have lots of updates, posts in the group. I've been trying to post.
We'll probably have Chewie on again, too, at some point and give updates about how training is going with him.
Right.
So. Some of the things that we're working on besides no, when it comes to chewing on things, is using a bell to go outside.
Yes.
So we have a bell that hangs on the door, and once in a while we can get him to ring it, and then once he does it, every time we come back in, he'll go back over to it and ring it again because he wants to go back outside and play.
He likes
Not
being
that he needs to go outside and go potty.
Right. Yeah, he likes to be outside, and that's what he's learning is that if I ring the bell, I get to go outside. And really, the bell is supposed to be, I need to go outside for the bathroom, go potty kind of thing. But it's hard to train that when at this point, while he's playing, in the middle of playing, he'll just all of a sudden surprise himself because he's starting to go to the bathroom. So he's not very good about even knowing when he needs to go yet.
So when we were first taking him outside, when we got him home that first week,
oh my gosh,
the grass was so tall, he couldn't even run through the grass. He didn't even, I don't think he weighed 2 pounds. And he finally got to the point where he would walk in the grass and then he would try and jump up to see where he was going. So that's a...
It looked like a little rabbit.
That's a whole nother podcast as to why our grass got so tall. We don't live in the country. We actually live in town, and our grass should not have been that tall.
Correct.
But we'll talk about that in another podcast.
Absolutely. That's a total Morrison Madness moment.
But once we got the grass mowed down, then he was like, he just loves it out there. He can run through it and jump, and he goes zooming across the yard and slams on his brakes and rolls himself butt overhead, and then just lays there like he's a dead puppy.
Yes.
And then he'll start sniffing and roll himself around in it. And
Yeah. He loves playing in the yard and running around. He is learning pretty good about if there's noises or he sees people across the street or what have you, because we don't have a fenced-in yard, and so we have to stay right with him. But I was training him that he can be on the sidewalk, but he can't go past the sidewalk. He can't go in the grass towards the street. And he's done pretty good about that, unless somebody starts coming up and is talking to us, and they're coming to talk to him kind of thing, or they don't really want to talk to us. They want to see him. Then he gets too excited, and then he'll run out into the street, meet him halfway kind of idea. We have to try and keep that from happening. But we live in a cul-de-sac, so we do not have a lot of traffic in the area, so I'm not concerned. If we lived on a busy road, that would not be a thing that we would do.
If you want to see a hilarious video, though, go to our Facebook page, get in the group.
Yes.
The video of when Chewie met Robbie the rambunctious Roomba is frickin' hilarious.
Yes.
He was like, oh my God, what is that thing? What is it doing? Where is it oh my God, it's coming back.
Yes. Yeah, he's not scared of stuff. He's curious.
Yes.
But then he's still cautious, which is good, because you don't want a dog that's not totally not scared and then just throws himself off the stairs kind of thing. But yes, when Robbie would start coming back, he'd back himself up between our feet and then kind of look up at us like, aren't you gonna move? It's coming after you. But
so today in the mail, Lachelle was probably as excited to get this new toy for Chewie as she was to get Chewie. In fact, I think maybe more excited about the new toy than about Chewie.
No.
Yeah, pretty sure.
No.
So tell them about the new toy that you got.
So the toy is actually Fluent Pet, and we'll probably put some posts out about it as well. They are buttons. If you remember the Staples commercial where they would hit the button and it would say that was easy, that Staples button, you could buy that at Staples for a while. And so now they have buttons that say lots of different things at a lot of novelty stores. Well, there's a company that specifically built buttons that are smaller and easier to press for pets. And
they're blank. You record on them.
Yes. So you record yourself saying whatever keywords you want on the buttons, and then the puppy learns the words from the buttons, and they're able to talk to you in that way. So we talked a little bit about the dog that I had for 14 years, Kaylee, that passed away a couple years ago, and she was pretty good about communicating. She knew how to ring a bell, and whenever she would...
If her food bowl was empty, she would go scratch at her food bowl.
Yes.
If her water bottle was empty, she would go over and smack the water bottle.
Now he wants back over to you. He's just back and forth and back and forth.
I don't know that he wants that. I think he wants down.
Oh.
He's really getting tired.
Yeah, he is. We were hoping that we'd get him to bark here on the... Well, that'll just put him to sleep. If you lay him on his back like that, that makes him...
What is he, part shark?
Yes, I think so. But if you're going to want him to get to bark actually on this, you're going to want to rile him up a little bit and play.
I'm not worried about him barking. He's too tired.
Okay. Well, that'll evidently be for another podcast. But in any case, she was really good about communicating. And one of the things that when I trained her, I would always say, show me. And she knew that it meant that I was listening to her. I was trying to figure out what she wanted, but she had to try and communicate with me. And I had always wanted to do something like the buttons, but I didn't know... They weren't available. There wasn't something like that I knew of out there that I could do. And so I found them shortly before Kaylee got sick. And I was actually thinking about getting them for Kaylee, and then she got sick, and I was like, there's too much going on with her being ill for her to try and learn buttons at that point, and so we never got them. So yes, in some senses, I have been waiting to get these buttons for quite a while because I wanted to do it with my other dog. But yes, so I was excited that they came as quickly as they did so we can work with him from day one and see how many words he can learn as we go. So I think we have, what did I say, 36 buttons?
32 or 36,
something like that. 30, yeah, maybe 32 buttons that we have that we can work with.
Well, I think I'm going to let him down. I don't know what is going on with him, but
come here.
I really think he wants down, honey.
Come here. I think he's fighting sleep is the issue.
Well, maybe he has to go. He might have to go to the bathroom.
Good kisses, thank you. So one of the words that we started today was play, and I literally got the button made and showed him what, played with them, push the button, say that we're playing a couple times, and then I got busy doing stuff, and then I went back and I did it one more time with him, and I was, we're gonna play, and I think that's because you were putting the netting up around our banister, so he doesn't, because he's small enough that he can go through the railings on the banister. And so we wanted to make sure that didn't happen. So you're putting some netting up to keep that from happening. And I was playing with him in the kitchen to keep him occupied so he stayed away from the banister. And so I was using the button at that time and showing him the button. And then we were busy doing some stuff, finishing up, making supper and cleaning off the table and things that way so we can record tonight. And all of a sudden he went over and he hit that play button.
You bet.
And then turned around and looked at you, and you were so shocked you couldn't... You didn't even know what to do at first.
Well, at first I looked around for him. I'm like, he hit the button, but where did he go? And he was between my feet looking at me like, are we going to do this or not?
That means that you pay attention to me. That play button does. So I have a feeling he will learn fairly quickly. I'm excited to kind of see how fast he can learn words and all the different words that he can learn. And we'll have to give updates on that as we go too. So we'll make a post about that on our group as well. We'll kind of keep it updated there. So if you join that group when you're hearing this, there should be posts and updates about the different buttons that he has learned since that point. And again, Fluent Pet, which I'll tag in this post or in this podcast, and we'll post about in our group as well.
Just to be clear, they are not a sponsor.
No, not at all. Nope. But they do have a thing where we can sign up you can be a research participant. And so you actually, by posting videos and stuff, you help them with their research on how dogs learn.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, that's something that I'm thinking of doing. And I just haven't had a chance to look to see if he has to have his own account or how that works. I'm not sure. So that'll be a whole nother thing to see if we can even have the time to do that.
Maybe you'll become internet famous like Grumpy Cat.
Yeah.
How about that, Chew Monster?
Can you become internet famous?
Huh?
Do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, good kisses. Yes, thank you. Oh, goodness. Yeah, you're a lover, aren't you? Sure. Lots of kisses tonight.
So, shorter podcast today. We just wanted to introduce a new member of our family.
Yes.
So, from Don, Lachelle, and Chewie. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Maybe he needs to start a Twitter account, or he can just use ours.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking we might have him use our Twitter or Instagram or something.
Since we're horrible at it.
Yes, because we are horrible at it. Absolutely.
But check it out. And our podcast is on all the places you can download podcasts and on YouTube and all that stuff. So
yeah.
Until next week.
Yeah. Take care.